Hello everybody, Mike's Ultimatum here. I'm going to get rid of, or get this out of the way, the red RtR Ravnica spoiler. I never really liked red, but I can tell what's good and what's not. I've played mono red decks in standard, so. Annihilating Fire, total shit card. I hate this because it's just an expensive version of Incinerate. Incinerate's good, this is not. Ash Zealot, however, great card. I really like the ability on it. It's a 2/2 first strike haste for 2, which is already great. But whenever you player casts a spell from a graveyard, Ash Zealot deals 3 damage to that player. So play it against people who have Snapcaster, and every time they flash something back with Snapcaster, they bolt themselves. Awesome. Batterhorn. When it enters the battlefield, you may destroy an artifact. It tries too hard to be Acidic Slime. It's not, so whatever. Bellows Lizard, a 1/1 for 1 with bad fire breathing. It's playable limited, I guess. Bloodfray Giant, a 4/3 Trample Unleash for 4. It might be limited playable, but I would advise against it. Chaos Imps, Flying Unleash, 6/5. Chaos Imps has Trample as long as it has 1/1 counter on it. So, both limited and constructed, it's budget playable. Limited, it's a bomb. It's really, really good. Cobble Brute, a 5/2 for 4. It's shit. Dino Charge, target creature you control gets +2/+0 until the turn for 1, and you can overload it for 3. The overload cost is going to make this card playable. It's pretty great. Electricity deals 1 damage to target creature you don't control. Overload it for 2. It's a bad Pyroclasm, so I don't like it. Explosive Impact deals 5 damage to target creature or player, but it costs 6. It's not playable. Goblin Rally, put 4 1/1 goblins on the battlefield for 5. This actually might make a playable goblin deck. I'm not really sure. There's nothing to really buff your goblins. But if you have Krenko out and you play one of these, you can make 1,000,000,000 goblin tokens. And if you have, if you're doubling them every single turn, it's going to be hard to keep up with. They won't be able to attack through it. So, Gorehouse Chainwalker, a 2/1 for 2 with Unleash. Not terrible. It's limited playable. Guild Feud. This is interesting. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent reveals the top 3 cards of his or her library. Target opponent reveals the top 3 cards of his or her library, may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield, then puts the rest into his or her graveyard. You do the same with the top 3 cards of your library. If 2 creatures are put into the battlefield this way, those creatures fight each other. So, if you can rush that card out, if you can somehow rush the Guild Feud out really fast, and you have just your deck loaded up with big creatures, I think that'd be really fun to see, but it's not viable, I don't think. Gutter Snipe is a 2/2 for 3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get to shock each opponent. It's really good, I think. You get a kill spell to burn spell out of it. Lobber Crew, a 0/4 for 3 defender. Lobber Crew deals 1 damage to each opponent when you tap it, and whenever you cast a multicolored spell, untap it. It's not that great. I don't know. Minotaur Aggressor, 6/2 for 7, first strike haste. Yeah, no, it's total shit. Mizzium Mortars, 4 damage to target creature you don't control for 2. The overload is what's going to make this really playable. For 6 mana, it's a one-sided board sweep most of the time. Pursuit of Flight, 2 cost enchantment, and it gets +2/+2, and for a blue it gains flying. So if you're playing Izzet, this is going to be playable. More unlimited, it's not going to be played standard unless you're budget. So, Pyroconvergence. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, you get a shock a creature or player. It's not as good as the Goblin that does it. Racecourse Fury. For 1, enchant a land, and the land has tapped. Target creature gains haste until end of turn. Not bad, not great, whatever. Splatter Thug. First Strike Unleash. 2/2 for 3. It's budget playable. It's definitely limited playable. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a good card, I guess. Street Spasm is Mizium Mortar's little brother. Not nearly as good, in my opinion, but it's a little bit playable. Survey the Wreckage. For 5, you destroy a land, put a Goblin token into play. Still not good. It's no matter how many of this kind of crap they print, it will never be Stone Rain. And I want them to realize that. Tenement Crasher, 5/4 haste for 6, total shit. Traitorous Instinct. It's okay because it gets +2/+0 and gains haste. But 4, it's playable, but barely. Advara Hellkite. This is going to make some Dragon EDH really, really fun. It says 6/6 for 8, but whenever a dragon, not just the Hellkite, whenever a dragon you control attacks, put a 6/6 dragon with flying onto the battlefield. Pretty awesome. Vandal Blast. Destroy a target artifact you don't control for 1 red. Overload for 5. Which, if they're playing artifacts, it's great. Not much more to say about that. And Viashino Racketeer. 1 red, 2 other for 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you may discard a card and draw a card. So, it's card advantage. Might be a filler card in limited, but that's about it. Alright, that's the red portion of this. So thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe.